Mr. Daniel Lugay, the representative of the United Workers' Party for the upcoming by-election, wrote a letter to the Chief Elections Officer complaining of some irregularities through a release this morning. I heard they were in the national radio station DBS. The office is denying those claims or allegations. Let's first listen to the letter presented by Franklin Peter Moses on some of this concern. And we'll hear the release as read there by Mr. Curtis Matthew, the news editor of the nation station DBS.
Chief Elections Officer Dominique from Daniel Lugay, constituent, Roto North constituency, July 19th, 2026. Dear Madam, reference, confirmation, and registration. I, Daniel Lugay, note with concern on the most recent supplementary list issued by your office that there are several names of electors without a valid address. This is unprecedented and not in keeping with the electoral statute. I'm hoping that this situation can be quickly corrected ahead of any election in the Rosso North constituency. Secondly, there are serious allegations that staff members of confirmation offices of Rosso North are illegally accepting applications for registration and confirmation in the absence of the applicants and requested by persons who are not of the Rosso North constituency. Should this allegation be proven to be true, this would be a blatant violation of electoral statutes and appear to be placing your staff at the Rosso North Confirmation Office as party to violation to Dominica's electoral statutes. I, Daniel Lugay, therefore request with urgency these two important areas of concern to the residents of Rosso North. Respectfully, Daniel Lugay.
Well, the electoral office has responded, as we hear in this report from Mr. Curtis Matthew, a release from the electoral office.
The electoral office in Dominica has denied allegations which surfaced over the weekend that individuals are able to bring documents on behalf of electors and have them confirmed. In a press release, the electoral office said they wish to state that this is absolutely false and cannot happen under the current confirmation process. The release states that the confirmation system is designed with safeguards that require the physical presence of every individual being confirmed. The press release noted that during the process, the individual's information is entered into the system, a photograph is taken, and the individual must provide his or her signature electronically during or using the signature pad. The electoral office says the software will not complete the confirmation applicant unless both the photograph and the electronic signatures have been captured. The office notes it is therefore impossible for a person to be confirmed simply by someone presenting documents on their behalf without physical presence of that elector. The electoral office says it rejects the false information that has circulated on social media and wishes to inform the public that the prescribed procedures are being strictly followed at all confirmation centers. The office further assures the public that every effort is being made to ensure the integrity of the confirmation process through appropriate supervision and oversight at every confirmation.
All right, Dominica, you're not going to call very early this morning as it relates to what appears. I can't, I have to do some follow ups, but some people are complaining of double registration. They see their names two places. I registered in Roseau North, meaning I registered in Goodwill, and some people see the register. The same names appear in Folklore. So part of the problem may be that we have persons with the same name as well, huh? And I'm hoping that that can be clarified. It almost seems like there's double registration, but I'm hoping that the electoral office can clarify, because some persons are complaining that they're registered in Goodwill and they're registered in Folklore. So please clarify. Now let's listen to again this report there presented by Mr. Curtis Matthew.
Office in Dominica has denied allegations which surfaced over the weekend that individuals are able to bring documents on behalf of electors and have them confirmed. In a press release, the electoral office said they wish to state that this is absolutely false and cannot happen under the current confirmation process. The release states that the confirmation system is designed with safeguards that require the physical presence of every individual being confirmed. The press release noted that during the process, the individual's information is entered into the system, a photograph is taken, and the individual must provide his or her signature electronically during or using the signature pad. The electoral office says the software will not complete the confirmation applicant unless both the photograph and the electronic signatures have been captured. The office notes it is therefore impossible for a person to be confirmed simply by someone presenting documents on their behalf without physical presence of that elector. The electoral office says it rejects the false information that has circulated on social media and wishes to inform the public that the prescribed procedures are being strictly followed at all confirmation centers. The office further assures the public that every effort is being made to ensure the integrity of the confirmation process through appropriate supervision and oversight at every confirmation.
Also, there's some complaints as it relates to the issuance of the list of confirmed voters without address and the people's name. Residency means that there must be an address, especially in the polling districts where the homes are numbered. Somebody saying, Miss Anthony Joseph, fix it and fix it now. Stop this nonsense. So there seem to be some irregularities that that the people of the election office needs to verify and next to fix at this time before this continues. There's a lot of Coco Macaque accepting photos on phones. So there's some concern that we need to clarify, okay? Before we continue with the election stories, the election issues, I want to talk to Dr. Thompson Fontaine, who's facing, who'll be in the court this morning facing, of course, another session. I think that, how many are we talking about this time, Mr. Fontaine? Dr. Fontaine?
This is my 28th.
Your 28th time?
20th court appearance, in the courts in Dominica, correct.
So you will be in the court this morning. Again, tell us about the charge and what's happening.
All right, Matt, so I need to give a little bit of explanation.
Yes.
Because this morning, High Court, yesterday for my 27th court appearance, I was in the Magistrates Court. Now, the persons may recall that in 2017, we had this protest outside government headquarters. And out of that protest, several of us were arrested, including myself, Lennox Linton, Elsie James, Joshua Francis, Joseph Isaac, Nicholas George. At the end, the three of us, myself, Lennox, and Mr. James, we went forward to the High Court. After several court appearances in the Magistrates Court on the charge of trying to overthrow the government, that was the first charge, and they reduced it to incitement. I had two charges. I had an incitement charge and an obstruction charge related to that same event of the 17th of February 2017. So the incitement charge against myself, Mr. James, and Lennox went to the High Court. At the High Court, the judge ruled. In fact, he did not allow the charges to be read against us. He ruled that the case was frivolous and it had no merit in justice. And so he dismissed it forthwith. And that was after I had been to court several times previous to that in the Magistrates Court. He dismissed it immediately and also said that I cannot be charged, or the government was forbidden to continue to press any sorts of charges in any court in Dominica related to those events of 2017. Now, at that time, my obstruction charge was still at the Magistrates Court. So with the order from the High Court, we went to the Magistrates Court, indicating that that was the ruling from the High Court judge, and we believe that it applied to this charge of obstruction, since it arose out of the same circumstance of 2017. The magistrate refused. He said that the order from the Justice Williams was not specific enough to the obstruction charge, and as such, he would continue his dealings. He would continue with the case against me for obstruction. So that is what I was in court for yesterday. Now, in the meantime, we went to the High Court seeking some kind of relief from the High Court because we felt that the order was clear enough. So we are asking the High Court to put some clarity on the judgment of the High Court concerning my situation in the Magistrates Court. When he went to the High Court, and when the current judge heard the case, she asked that we go back to the Magistrates Court, asking the magistrate to put his order in writing, because he did not indicate in writing what he said. He only said it orally in court. or verbally
Mm-hmm.
in court. So she wanted something in writing so that she could do some kind of ruling. So we went back to the magistrate's court, and he refused to send anything to the High Court. So that's why we are back in court today in the High Court to report to the judge as to what has happened since she made the order. But when I was in court yesterday for the magistrate's court appearance, because he tried to continue with the case, the prosecution requested a very long adjournment, and he agreed. So we have an adjournment going back to 2027, January of 2027. So he has adjourned the case until January of 2027. So that's where we are, man. It's very complicated. But
what is really going on? What is really going on? I mean, there seems to be some games.
But I mean, you know, the only thing that the government had to do, was to really withdraw. You know, once the judge ruled in the High Court, they simply have to withdraw.
Mm-hmm.
But they did not do that. The prosecution did not do that. In fact, the magistrate, to his credit, did ask the prosecution whether they were going to withdraw the charge of obstruction. They decided not to. Basically, they decided to allow the case to move forward. So that is where we are. I should also add that quickly that the government also appealed the High Court ruling as well. So the High Court, when he ruled that the case was frivolous and there was no merit in the charges that were brought against us, the government actually appealed that ruling as well.
I'm asking, but what is the purpose? Why do they want to drag this on? Why does the government feel like he has to drag it on?
Matt, you know, according to the laws of Dominica, if you're convicted for felony account, if you're convicted or you're sent to jail, you cannot run for office, government in this country.
Oh, okay.
So it seems to me that is a deliberate attempt by some to get me out of the political race, out of the political fray. You know, because if you look back at this event of 2017, you know, there's no way that those charges should have been brought against us, because events took place in the night when our meeting ended at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And any kind of violence was at 7 o'clock in the night when none of us were even close to any of that activity. So it is clear, Ahmad, it's a political prosecution. Also, I believe it also was an attempt to try to almost bankrupt me, I would think, because at the time, remember, I was in South Sudan, and I mentioned 27 times, probably like 20 of those times, I have to come back from Africa to attend court, only to be told that the case was postponed for another period. I would go back and have to come back in 6 weeks' time and that kind of thing. So I was up and down for many, many months. Cost me quite a lot of money, in the tens of thousands of dollars, just to attend the court. You know, so it's very unfortunate that is where we are in this country, but that's the situation.
So it's all about political for you. It's all about political persecution, huh?
It is, man. It is. As I said, there is no merit to any of those cases, with respect even to the obstruction charge. Because the government claims that I stood in front of a truck. I mean, how could I obstruct a truck? You know, so it's just, I mean, it would be laughable if it had not been so costly for me, personally, as well as financially. Because bear in mind, every time you appear in court, you have to get there for 9 o'clock. Your case might be heard until 12, until after 1 in the afternoon. You just never know, so you waste. These are hours, many hours wasted, just sitting there waiting, only to be told that the court is adjourned or having to come back another day. So
so do you feel broken at all, Mr. Thompson, Dr. Thompson? Do you feel?
Not at all. I think I feel strengthened in all of this, because I know that I understand that this is very unfair, and it has nothing to do with justice. I've done nothing wrong, and I understand the petty politics involved in this, and that's the reason why I continue to fight this. That's the reason why I continue to remain bound, because at the end of the day, we must prevail on this one.
Dr. Thompson Fontaine, let's just shift gears a bit there. You've been on the ground with Mr. Danny Luge, of course, your candidate for the Rosenhof constituency. How do you feel about this campaign going? You've of course gone to various hamlets in that constituency. How confident are you going forward?
Matt, we are very confident, but taking nothing for granted. We are confident, but not complacent. We are being very much motivated and inspired by the level of support that we're getting on the ground. We believe that the people of Rosenhof are ready to return that seat to us, rightly to us. This is a seat that we very, very well in the past, and we lost it. But we did not lose it in 2022. We did not take part in the election, and it went across the Labour Party. So we feel very confident going forward that we will regain that seat. I believe, like in Rosenhof and the rest of the country, the people are tired of this government. They believe that they've had enough of Labour Party rule, and they're prepared to get them out at the next polls. And so it's a very exciting time for this country, a very exciting time for our party as well, because we are beginning to see a groundswell of support. People are standing up, they're coming forward, and they're giving us the kind of support that we always believed was necessary to make the change. And so we're very confident and very happy at what we're seeing going on now in Rosenhof.
Because I just heard the Prime Minister this morning there on the Nation station saying that he's very confident about Rosenhof and the candidates as he was comparing the candidates. It said basically he said it's chalk and cheese. His candidate is a better one than Danny Luge.
Well, the people of Rosenhof would differ in that, because bear in mind they selected Danny Luge not once but twice. He was overwhelmingly selected. By the way, he selected over even Mr. Julius Timothy, whom I'm sure even the Prime Minister would agree that his current candidate does not match up to Mr. Julius Timothy. But Danny Luge wrongly defeated him. So, I mean, we'll see, but quite clearly, I don't believe that the Labour Party candidate stands a chance against our candidate.
Well, again, I know you in terms of some party matters, you're launching some candidates tomorrow. Did I say 3? I'm not too sure, because people were complaining that you were not launching candidates quick enough. So what's going on tomorrow?
Well, I remember we met last month. We launched the first set of candidates, and we are doing more this week. We will have others in the weeks ahead. I believe it's a great sign for the party. We're only doing the new candidates, so we had 3, and we are going to be doing a couple more on Thursday. And so it's a very exciting time for the party, like we said, and we have more in the pipeline. So after Thursday's revealing of candidates, we'll have another one, possibly within 2 weeks, to announce a few others.
So the candidates are rolling in.
They're rolling in, Matt. I must say that I'm very pleased with the level of support that we're receiving, with the number of persons who are showing their interest in running for the party. That has been very, very good for us. Most of the constituencies that we have different persons vying to be our candidate, and that's a good thing. It's a very good, very healthy competition, but it also shows the strength of the party. It shows that we're attracting new blood, we're attracting new, vibrant persons to run for us, and that's an excellent sign. It shows that is a sign of a very healthy party, a growing party, and a party that is prepared to take over the reins of government in this country.
So couple months ago, there seemed to be a little, sort of fighting within the party structure. Has that been resolved? I know you had a big meeting in Marigot on the weekend.
Yes, that is correct. You would also recall that a few weeks ago, I sent out an olive branch, so to speak, to persons within my party who may have felt aggrieved at what was happening within the party and who may have felt not to be a part of what was going on. And I'm happy to say that this was well embraced by all and sundry within the party. Now we're a united force. As you mentioned, we were in Marigot on Sunday with Honorable Delbert Paris. Had a wonderful meeting there, a wonderful time in Marigot. The people of that constituency, I want to say a big thank you to, because they welcomed us with open arms. And it is clear from what happened on Sunday that whatever problems were there in the past, they are now behind us. And we're moving forward with much confidence and much hope for a brighter and better Dominica. So it's good. I think we're in an extremely good place right now, man, looking at the prospects of taking a big win at the Roseau North constituency and setting our sights for the general election. So I think it's a good time for Dominica, and I believe that the Dominican public, as I said, is solidly behind a party that has gotten its act together and is working to remove and unseat this government.
So you feel very confident, because I hear a lot of people talking about the blue wave. What's your feeling as it relates to the election?
You better smile to my face, because that's exactly what it is. It's a blue wave. It's a vibe, as we say. That blue wave that has started to roll across Dominica. That wave means it's one of excitement, it's one of optimism, it's one of hope, it's one of belief that we are going to win this thing. And so people are excited about it. After 26 years out in the wilderness, the rays of hope are there, and people are really happy to see that. And so, yeah, the excitement is building. Our base is energized. The new people are coming on board. You have labor rights publicly denouncing the Labour Party and announcing the support for the United Workers' Party. So it's a great time for us, and we're very happy for that. Happy for that blue wave that will ultimately sweep across this country and return some sanity to the government.
Are you ready? Because some persons are also suggesting that we may not only get a by-election, we may get the general elections. Are you ready if, just in case, a snap election is called?
But yeah, that is part of the preparation that we're doing with regards to our candidates. That's the first order of business, to make sure our candidates are in order. But beyond that, we have been engaged in the communities on the ground. Our caretakers and candidates have been doing the rounds, doing what is necessary. Because last week alone, we had meetings in Mont Jean, Marigot, and in Roseau North. So we are doing what we have to do. As I said, taking nothing for granted, confident but not complacent, and doing the necessary work on the ground to ensure victory at the polls.
Doctor, thank you very much. Dr. Fontaine there, of course.
Thank you.
Just making another appearance in the court this morning. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. All right, thank you. Dr. Fontaine, the UWP leader. Very confident. And of course, a few other persons will be launched this week. I'm hearing of a few big candidates to be launched by the United Workers' Party. I'm sure you will hear some of them by Thursday this week at the launching ceremony. But I heard the Prime Minister this morning basically saying that he's confident about Roseau North winning when this by-election is called. Let's listen to the Prime Minister.
It has to be announced. But things are looking up in Roseau North. I think people are recognizing that there is but only one serious political party in Dominica, and that is Dominica Labour Party. You need stability. You need stability to maneuver around those global challenges, none of which you have control over, but you have to deal with them. And if you do not have a knowledge of the global affairs and how it's going to impact on Dominica and to develop policies and programs to address the issues confronting Dominica, then you'll have a challenge. So I tell people, forget about whether you like me or not. That's inconsequential. Forget about whether you like the Labour Party or not. That is inconsequential. What is consequential is where we want Dominica to go and who we believe is the best organization to do so. We cannot continue as a people to peddle our own little private interests over the greater good of the country. And so I'm happy to know that there are quite a number of people in Roseau North who are recognizing that, those persons who have voted in the Labour Party for many elections, and are recognizing that they now have to take a very independent look of things, and they're making a decision otherwise, and we appreciate and welcome that. So we welcome anybody who wishes to join us in making a contribution for the greater good of Dominica. And in respect to our candidate in Roseau North, Ms. Ashma McDougall, It's chalk and cheese compared to the
Chalk and cheese. All right, Dominic, you said the Prime Minister very confident, it appears, about Rosa North winning the seat in the by-election. Its comparison is chalk and cheese. Let's wait and see. And we just said the leader of the United Workers' Party saying they're very confident. So it appears that it's going to be a big fight there in the Rosa North constituency. Somebody's asking, Matt, if he is so confident, why has he not given a date for the election? Maybe that's a question you need to ask the Prime Minister. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Matt, good morning.
Morning to you, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning to all Dominicans.
Yes, sir.
Matt, I listen to Dr. Fountain, right?
Uh-huh.
And I want to agree with him. Let me tell Dominicans why. I will not call names, right? But Matt, I've always been talking about my country in the British Virgin Islands. Some people say, but go back there and live now. I say, well, I always in Dominica. Matt, I've been in Dominica every day. But Matt, there's a particular lady. She was an organizer of those people who normally comes from the BVI to vote for the Labour Party. Matt, I had a conversation with her and she told me, Caesar, I finished with that. Caesar, I went to Dominica. No, man, Dominica too poor. Matt, I wouldn't call her name, but Matt, she may be hearing me. And I said to her, well, just go publicly, help Dominica. So I will now ask her if she could allow me to call her name. And if yes, Matt, I'll call her name, Matt. I am Tony Caesar. I'm not afraid of anything. But when I listen to Dr. Fontaine, I say, Dr. Fontaine, what you're saying is true. A lot of guys who used to say they're going to vote for the Labour Party in Totola, watch it. They're not coming. They're not coming this time, man. Thank you.
Thank you very much. 449-3095, 96 and 97. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Morning, Matt.
Morning to you, sir.
I wonder if I'm dreaming or I'm hearing. If I'm dreaming or I'm hearing.
Well,
We're going to Labour are going to win a goodwill. Not even in dream. Not even in dream. You might forget that. In goodwill, Johnny Luge, not even in dream. Change your mind, Labour Party.
all right, caller, thank you, Matt. Roosevelt, keep quiet. Global this, global that. If you have an understanding of what is going on, stop pretending to be intelligent and informed. It's nauseating. You are so informed in global issues, and yet you cannot neither speak up or make a difference as it relates to the U.S. visa saga. You're a coward. Hello, somebody's saying that there via a WhatsApp message. Are you? Yeah, hello, talk to me. Global issues? Talk to me. Yes?
Hey, Matt, good morning.
Morning to you, sir.
Matt, I hear you say that the Prime Minister sounds very confident, but Matt, let me tell you something. You're a journalist. You should know when someone speaks with confidence and when someone speaks with fear. I hear this Prime Minister was speaking with fear here, and he had no choice to say what he was saying because he's a coward and he's afraid. And what's going to happen in Rosa North, my brother, it's going to be a message we're going to send for him. So when he's talking about people that was supporting the United Workers' Party is now getting to the senses, well, my brother, you have to win and come again. You have to go back to the drawing board because it's vice versa. Because it's the people that was supporting the Labour Party that now getting wise. The people that was giving the handout that now decided they're going to take it and backfire on all you, or you cannot fool them no more. Because I on the ground 24/7, I know what is happening. My brother, we're going to beat you so bad in Rosa North that you might even try to call another general election. And have a good morning.
Have a good morning. 449-3095, 449-3096. The numbers again, 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097, 616-4257. These are the numbers to call this morning if you want to participate. Let's go back to the telephone. Yes, are you there?
Yes, I am here, Matt.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Dominica. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Matt, I am chuckling. You know why I'm chuckling?
Tell me.
Here's my contribution this morning. I listened to what you carried there by the Prime Minister, being like me myself. Saying all kind of foolish things. The people have been voting for Labour Party for so long. You forgot how many election cycles that people have been voting in Roseau North for the United Workers' Party with Mr. Timothy, then with Lugay. Completely out of reality. You know, but I'm not going to take up much time this morning. I'm just going to say to you, Matt, after any government that has been in office for 26 years consecutively, almost 27, any government in any democracy in the world, if they would have done satisfactorily, if they would have done anything good over the 26 plus years, which is more than sufficient for any government to show its face. The situation we're in right now, there wouldn't be a question as to whether we're going to have a by-election and then a general election. Bearing in mind that the general election is due constitutionally within the year, closer to 6 months, really. And there is this scenario of a by-election, a vacant, where the constituency rate is vacant, there's a vacant seat, where the constitution, there is a deadline within which they must call that election. This is the only reason we're talking about that. Any government, as I was saying, that would have been in office for 26 years and would have done anything that was satisfactory would immediately call a general election and not bother about talking about a by-election to buy time. You know, that's a BUY. They want to buy time because they do not know. Mr. Skerritt knows very well that the people of Dominica have come to the conclusion that it is time for the Labour Party to pack up and move on, because Dominica is never going to get anywhere than where we are right now. And where we are right now is a state that Dominica does not want to be in. Where we are, where the major part of the world is basically turning their backs on us. I'm not going to go through it all. We know about the visa situation. Everybody knows about it. It's topical. So, this is what Mr. Skerritt has given us. This is where he has brought us in 2026, where we are. Where Mr. Skerritt has brought us is where our country does not need to be, and no country in the world needs to be. That is why only a handful, 3 or 4 of us that are in this present predicament. It's time, and the people of Dominica have come to understand that the only thing they must do is first register if you have never voted. Secondly, confirm your name on the list if you have voted before, because this is the ammunition you need to be able to roll out that government. You can't do it without doing it. So I emphasize, go out. Don't make no excuses. Go register. Go confirm. Just get up each morning and you say a prayer and say, okay, confirm, register. That's a prayer. Thank you very much for the opportunity, my brother.
Thank you very much. It's 9:19 in the morning. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Love life, enjoy gratitude, courage, and sacrifice. Mr. Positive, blessings to you and yours, sir.
Blessings to you, sir.
Thank you. 90% or maybe 95% of everybody, government engaged, whether foreigners or locals, these are mercenaries. These are mercenaries, hired guns. They get paid and they execute their duties with no humanity, with no compassion, with no consideration, with no familiarity or cultural attachment to Dominica. They don't give a damn about Dominica. It's about their pay, and they think they and their family and Dominica and their children, everybody will be safe. Everybody will be laughing, But how quickly they come at the commission and dispel and talking about social media and rumor. What now they exhume all your skeletons on your berry or you rush into the damage control, Matt? Could that be the case, Matt? I'm assuming here. I'm speculating. But that is not political persecution. But that is quite terroristic in the manner in which these terrorists have tried everything that they're fighting tooth and nail. Because these criminals cannot imagine their removal from these safety zones. But can you imagine at the length these criminals want to go to resurrect a matter that is already dead? And Matt, is it inexperience? Is it error for a magistrate to make such a ruling and make it a verbal judgment and not a written document so you can present? So now, it's not me now. You remember the brother from Point Michel? He says, Scary, tell him go to Dennis. Dennis said, no, it's scary. And so the one magistrate said, well, you have to go back to that magistrate. That magistrate refused, so you have to go back to the other. Matt, that is all a nasty political manipulation and strategy. Scary eyes and ears is everywhere, and he's remotely controlling everybody. They are afraid, they're terrified, they're terrorists. All the employers, government ministers, police imagine that the trained soldiers, Matt, are afraid of a clown, of a circus, Matt. And all of them are clustered in the criminality. Now it's Thompson, Fountain, Lennox, Linton, Edison, James. Not is it only against Thompson, Fountain they're resurrecting the matter, all of them collectively?
I think it may be Thompson Fountain, but I'll find out a little more. I'll do a little more research on that. I'll ask Lennox and both Edison James. I'll find out.
Can I conclude?
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, Matt, like Michael Manley and what was the other one? Siaga, Matt? They want opposing sides. But I want to see Michael Manley and Siaga on a stage showing a concretized, tangible appearance of unity. Lennox, Thompson, which one? Matt, you know which one is Siaga and which one is Michael Manley? But anyway, I want to see that. Because all we think is a joke that is happening in Dominica. Yesterday, I told Matt, this is a democratic, fascistic dictatorship. Yesterday, and listen to what Thompson is disclosing today. I am not aware of, Matt, you see me, my mobility is quite restricted. I'm at home. Matt, I said that yesterday, when I listened to what is being said today, I finally conclude comprehensively, Matt, you're dealing with criminals and they're in all the different institutions and departments of what they call government. Criminals. Thank you.
All right, Dominica, we have a voice note here. Yes, the conversation continues. And 305, somebody's asking again, 305-432-9624. That's for the overseas line. 305-432-9624.
Hi, Matt. Good morning to you, Dr. Fountain, and all Dominicans who have been persecuted for speaking out against the evil government in Dominica. Dominicans who have been, prosecuted and punished because they are not in agreement with the evil on the ground in Dominica. But Matt, I want to say this morning that this persecution will not go on forever, Matt. I'm hearing the account of Dr. Fountain, Matt, and we cannot call that anything other than persecution. And look who is doing it. The legal system. Michael Loader, the same magistrate who put Edison James in a cell. This same Michael Loader there. Look at the length of time he has adjourned the case when the decision had already been taken by the High Court. He proceeds to say that it lacks clarity, Matt. And he continues a case, an unjust case against this man. And he comes up with an adjournment up until 2027. Man, I want to say this morning to Michael Loader, that you will not be around for that adjournment in 2027, because God is going to smite you because you are too wicked. You are not going to persecute Dominicans, innocent Dominicans, and get away, because the right hand of God will come against you and you will not be around to persecute innocent Dominicans.
Well, let me just say at this time, Master, because I'm not actually certain it's Mr. Michael Loader that's handling the case. So let's do some more clarification before we allow you to continue with your view. Okay, so let me find out whether it's Michael Loader, because I may believe or do believe that it's another magistrate. But let me just clarify with Dr. Thompson Fontaine. Okay, we'll continue, of course, getting the views, and we'll clarify. I'm just trying to clarify. Okay, Master, just hold on there. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yeah? Yeah? Hello?
Morning, man. What's up?
Morning to
What's
you.
up?
How you doing? How you doing, my brother? How you doing?
I am good. I am good. You know, I heard a statement a while ago, and I'm calling to comment on it. The statement about chalk and cheese.
It's from the Prime Minister, yes.
This someone mentioned about chalk and cheese this morning, right?
Yes, and
No,
I'm confirming for you as the Prime Minister.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, it's an interesting statement, you know, because what is chalk, Matt?
You're right on the board with.
Well, I know chalk to be a very soft and porous limestone that is made up of fossilized skeletons and remains of microscopic organisms. What is cheese, Matt? Maybe just to help you out, you know, cheese is supposed to be some concentrated dairy that is produced from milk that coagulates, you know, and gets better. It's a kind of rich, dense food.
Mm-hmm.
But the idiom chalk and cheese comes from more or less the 14th century, where it describes two people, two different people or things or ideas that are completely different, you know. But then, so when people use chalk and cheese, they compare things. It's a euphemistic phrase that compares similarities or opposites, and often used to highlight. But philosophically speaking, Mark, when one looks at chalk and cheese, as was uttered this morning, principally speaking, when one looks at the Dominican Labour Party and the United Workers' Party, they differ sharply. So maybe we should listen and try to determine what would be the real chalk and cheese. And because obviously the Dominican Labour Party and the United Workers' Party differ sharply in terms of governance and economic policy. The Labour Party centers on state-led welfare and social programs, while interestingly, the United Workers' Party has had a track record of pushing for private sector-led self-reliance and reform. So what is the chalk there? What is the cheese there? It seems to me that when you look at the two parties philosophically, and you look at a party that offers governance simply on social welfare and social programs, that is porous, that is skeletal. And when you look at a philosophy that says, okay, you push for private sector-led growth and reform, that has more substance. So I don't know, I leave it to you to determine what is the chalk and what is the cheese there. When it comes to approach, all right, I think one party focuses on a government where with assisted welfare, funded heavily by state and citizenship via investment program for public infrastructure. And when one looks at another one, the other one opposes the state dependency and the periodic handouts, and they advocate instead for sustainable private sector jobs, tax reform, and higher tight checks on government spending. Which is the chalk then? Which is the cheese there? It seems to me the chalk is the one that focuses on state dependency and handouts, you know, and the other one focuses on sustainable private sector jobs, tax reform. So which is the chalk and which is the cheese there? When it comes to political standing and strategy, there is one party that has had power for many years and supposedly commands a legislative majority, and you have another party that serves as an opposition voice, with its own struggles perhaps, but advocating for solid governance. So I think which is the chalk and which is the cheese there. But when it comes to Roseau North, and you compare the chalk and the cheese, there is the element of chalk, whereby you have a party that has been in power for 26 years and has not served the needs of neither strata of the Roseau North population or communities. When you look at Upper Goodwill, Lower Goodwill, Pottersville, Lower Pottersville, around below the hospital, Gotter, Yampis, Tarish Street, what has been the benefits of that, the people in that area, as they have benefited from things? So it seems to me that when one looks at the chalk, one can see that in many areas, the people of Goodwill have not benefited from a party that has been in power for 26 years. And what they have been getting is fossil remains and a very porous promises, because they have been had promises for 25 years that has not been materialized. So that is chalk. It's very porous. It's been given a very tasteless understanding of what development should be. And that is where the porosity lies, in the chalk that they have gotten for the 26 years, versus a government who was in power for 4.5 years and been in opposition, that contributed a number of things to the Goodwill community. And we even have a candidate who is going up in Goodwill now who tried to elevate sports and many things in Goodwill. That is the cheese, with more substance, with more a greater density. So, I mean, it's left. I'm glad the gentleman who uttered the words chalk and cheese didn't say which one is chalk and which one is cheese. But when you compare what is the definition of chalk and what is the definition of cheese, and you use the analogy of chalk and cheese, the people of Goodwill will see that in one person or in one group of people resides a bagload of a ton of empty promises, of little development, and one where they have cheese, where you have substance, where you have had a good input for the past few years, and where the people of Goodwill can testify that they were able to thrive for 4.5 years. So it will be left to the people of Goodwill to determine which is the chalk and which is the cheese, and come up with the analogy. Who has really given them chalk and who will give them cheese. So they will vote instead for those people they know that's going to give them cheese and get rid of the chalk.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, Dominique, can we continue here in the morning? Break down the chalk and cheese analogy, huh? Now you decide who is the chalk and who is the cheese. Hello, talk to me on the telephone.
Good morning again, Matt. Morning.
Morning to you, sir.
Matt, I would like a question.
Yes.
The magistrate and judge, which is the one who has the most power? The judge or the magistrate?
The judge.
The judge or the magistrate?
The judge.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The one that I said before, we live on an evil political battlefield. We have to fight mercilessly to get rid of the demonic forces that destroy our country by the power of God. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes.
Good morning, Master Selfie. Governor, I forgot that entitlement. Matt Selfie. Thank you so much, Matt. First of all, I want to extend sympathy to the family of Macmillan.
Yes,
Macmillan Baptist, I was a child, I knew him from a child, growing up in Charlottesville, Newtown. So he was really a great man, an outstanding Dominican. And it's a pity that it wasn't some national thing for him. But this guy has been, like Suki, great and absolutely industrious and patriotic Dominican. So my deepest sympathies to the family, of Mr. Macmillan. Matt, Joseph Skerrit must stop treating the people of Roseau North with disdain, contempt, and chalk and cheese. That's what he takes us for, chalk and cheese. He said it himself. Here he is at the crest of an international disaster, an immigration disaster, with the threat by Miss, that congresswoman, to prohibit Dominicans from entering the United States of America, among other countries. Joseph Skerrit has not addressed that on Q. He hasn't called Q or any other radio station I know to address that serious matter which he, Roosevelt, by his own doing, has inflicted upon Dominica. I've lived in Roseau North constituency for the past 34 years. And let me tell you something. He comes there speaking about chalk and cheese. Do you know that there was a parliamentary representative for Roseau North?
Of course.
Representing Roosevelt Skerrit for over almost 2 years, Miriam Blanchard. She came and she disrespectfully, disdainfully just vanished from sight. She said, Roosevelt said nothing. Nobody came to say, well, she was sick and we are sorry about it. And there was never a meeting or an honest conversation with the people of Roseau North. So he decided when she should resign or whatever it is. And he comes and he just places his chalk and his cheese upon us, thinking that Roseau North people can be treated with contempt, disdain, and disrespect, as he has done with the whole of Dominica. And I tell you, Roseau North people, that's where you have bright people. You have bright people all over Dominica, but you have very bright people. The man in the ghetto, not stupid. The lives of the people, this government has been there. Whoever is representing him now has been there. This government has been there for the past 26 years. I've been living there for 34 years, so I've lived there among different parliamentary representatives. This is the worst that the Roseau North has been. And all of a sudden, he feels that somebody is chalk and somebody is cheese. No prime minister is worth his salt if it fits people of Dominica, even a representative on the other side, who has done no wrong. Then he has represented Roseau North outstandingly, with fair, with just fierce commitment and patriotism. He's done his best when he was there. He just decided not to run in the last election, in which he might have won anyway. So Mr. Skerrit, come and say about chalk and cheese and treat us with such disrespect and disdain as if who is Daniel Luque, he's a piece of old white chalk that nobody should even look at. And, he has inflicted harm on Dominica, his government. And no matter who he puts there, that person represents 26 years of labor, hard, fierce, painful labor, and a poor economy inflicted upon us by Roosevelt Skerrit. As I said yesterday, Roosevelt Skerrit and his government have not served Dominica well. They have inflicted pain and suffering us. And the Roseau North people know that. the poor people of Dominica, we know that in those labor rights are feeling the pain. Trust me, they know it. So he has not served us well. And they are not a blessing to Dominica. They don't deserve to continue. No matter how small finger is rose enough finger, they don't deserve to continue to serve or due to abuse and corrupt our systems. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, too. Thank you. It's just about 9:40 in Dominica and the rest of it. Let's go try a call from the overseas line. Are you there? Yes. Hello? Hello? The overseas line, they're not working this morning, so let's keep trying. We'll go back to the local lines at this time. So stick around. Dominica, we're here. Stick around. Stick around. Let's do this and we'll come right back.
Hailing from the southern football mecca of Newtown and possesses one of the most colorful sports resume in Dominica, the recipient of the prestigious Order of Merit from the Roosevelt Douglas Foundation in the US of A. Creole Helvet features meritorious awardee Joe for Faustine this Friday, July 24th, 10:30 a.m. on Q95 FM, the big station, the former national football and cricketer and an exceptional football and cricket coach.
I coach national football teams at under 15, under 17, and under 20 levels, and also the national football team. Former Dominica and Windward Islands cricket trainer at youth and senior levels.
His persistent demand for discipline, training, decorum, and order remained the hallmark of his training. Geoff Faustine. This Friday, host Ambassador Prince Radixson will be live on Q95 social media pages. Geoff Faustine, sports administrator, entrepreneur, and mentor, former sports officer at the sports division with a long, outstanding, distinguished career in the public service. Founder of the Newtown Juvenile Academy over 3 decades ago. Geoff Faustine, this Friday, July 24th, 10:30 a.m. on Creole Helmet on the big station Q95 FM.
With premium animal feeds at Blue Box, we're excited to announce a major expansion to our lineup. Blue Box Farm and Garden Center is now your go-to supplier for high-quality animal feed. From poultry to livestock, we provide the specialized nutrition your animal needs to thrive. Our feed portfolio includes poultry solutions, broiler starter, grower and finisher, poulet starter, grower and developer, layer 19% and 17% formula, swine care, grow pork 280, so ration and hog mix, small pet and livestock, rabbit ration, ruminant feed, and universal feed. Whether you're raising a backyard flock or managing a full-size farm, ensure your animals are getting premium quality feed for the best results. Visit Blue Box in Roseau on the corner of Hanover Street and Drury Lane, or Blue Box Goodwill, 66 Federation Drive, Goodwill. Call us in Roseau at 235-3483 or Goodwill at 235-3480. Let Blue get.
This is our 20th Global View and Q show for 2026, and we continue to engage with our local, regional, and global Q family listeners and friends of Dominica. I'm Sheridan Gregoire, Mr. G. With me is my co-host, Justice Dr. Irving Andre, Attorney Mark Douglas, and former Dominica UN Ambassador Crispin Gregoire. We will discuss the topic, what does reparations mean for Dominica? Here are some talking points or questions, if you like. What is the case for reparations for Dominica? Would we be compensated by the US and the EU for a corrupt CBI program, as OECS had suggested at the recent meeting in Dominica, especially in light of US Representative Nancy Mace's bill placed before the US Congress, which is slamming the door on countries like Dominica, which she claims are endangering American communities? What does this all mean? Are we owed reparations? Who owes us, and how should this be measured? Who is to pay? paid? Who should receive that payment? What should be done with it? And our current leaders be trusted with that money, considering how they treat our elderly or students in need and how our government uses donated assistance for Dominicans who are in need? Will it be used for the benefit of those who need it most? How should reparations be administered if we receive it? Should we be paying Britain for its colonization, as British parliamentarian Suella Braverman recently suggested? Should the descendants of slaves receive compensation from those who enslaved their ancestors? Why should they receive payment for those wrongs? Are there any precedents for such payments? And does intergenerational trauma and economic legacies of slavery justify reparations? We look forward to the contributions of Justice Dr. Irving Andre, Attorney Mark Douglas, and former Dominica UN Ambassador Christine Gregoire on this topic. What does reparations mean for Dominica? So tune in Tuesday night for more on the Global View on Q, only on Q95, the big station, because you know it's true if you hear it on Q.
If you know quality, then you must know the manufacturers of Dominica's finest rums. Belfast Estate Limited, over 80 years leading the industry with exceptional standards and formidable customer service. We present the manufacturers of BB Rum, Soca Rum, Red Cap Rum, Cask Rum, and the signature Belfast Estate Rum Punch. With island-wide distribution daily, Belfast Estate Limited has cemented its mark as the distributor of choice for products like Eldorado range of rums and creams, Kubali Bear, Corona Bear, Guinness, Root Boy drink, and of course the Sunglass juices, Topper Snacks, Vitamalt, and Pine Hill juices. Call the office at 440-7032 or visit the distribution outlet at Jimmy Dominica. Follow on Facebook or Instagram at Belfast Estate. Belfast Estate Limited, your leading manufacturer and distributor of rums in
Charlie's Pharmacy is bringing vibes to health with Health Vibes. Health Vibes each and every Wednesday from 10 to 11:30 a.m. with your hosts Trudy Kristen and co-host pharmacists Jacinta Fagan and Leona Jeremiah. Education, information, and a bit of humor, and not forgetting lots of vibes. Jolly's Pharmacy is bringing health and vibes together with Health Vibes. So be sure to tune in each and every Wednesday on Q95 from 10 to 11:30 a.m. Jolly's Pharmacy, leading the way in health.
This summer, every Big Four Multi-X purchase of $10 or more, you automatically qualify for a summer promotion.
Really?
You could win exciting prizes like shopping vouchers, cash prizes, or the grand prize of $10,000.
Talk to me now.
Every ticket comes with a coupon. You could win or see keep playing. Cash prizes can be redeemed at any agent. Shopping vouchers and the $10,000 grand prize must be claimed at the main office. Play Big Four with Multi-X today and make this summer a winning one.
Big Four, for sure.
Ooh, oh, oh, KFC. Ooh, oh, KFC. Looking for some place to go. Meals for soul. The KFC. Grab your family and your friends. Join in the experience. KFC. It's the place to be. Made for you and me. KFC. KFC. It's finger licking good.
Courts presents their 2026 All Range event. Be inspired at all Court stores nationwide. Come see what's new in everyday furniture and appliances. Get a chance to win an Indorama 30-inch stove with appliance purchase of $5,999 or more. Great deals on TVs and wall mounts. Everyday great value on mattresses. Bedroom bundle deals up to 25% off. Be inspired at the Courts 2026 All Range event. Affordable convenience for your home. Only at Courts. Bringing value home. Offer ends July 25th, 2026. Conditions apply.
Oh, and if they play convenience, make a big difference, and you can trust me. I know just where you should be. That is JP Mega, 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 Mega. The one-stop shopping, Dominica, nigga. You could be shopping and having fun. If you're not a happy social, it's a to everyone. What a happy place, happy place. Oh, JP Mega, 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 Mega. The one-stop shopping, Dominica, nigga. You could be shopping and having fun. If you're not alone, it's a to everyone. What a happy place, happy place. Oh, what a happy place. But just stick some more any item and you automatically qualify for discounts. Check us out at the Mega Store in Fongolle where there's lots of parking on Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. JP Mega, the best family shopping experience.
By election, obviously, it hasn't been announced, but things are looking up in Rosenhof. I think people are recognizing that there is but only one serious political party in Dominica, and that is Dominica Labour Party. You need stability. You need stability to maneuver around those global challenges, none of which you have control over, but you have to deal with them. And if you do not have a knowledge of the global affairs and how it's going to impact on Dominica and to develop policies and programs to address the issues confronting Dominica, then you'll have a challenge. So I tell people, forget about whether you like me or not. That's inconsequential. Forget about whether you like the Labour Party or not. That is inconsequential. What is consequential is where we want Dominica to go and who we believe is the best organization to do so. We cannot continue as a people to peddle our own little private interests over the greater good of the country. And so I'm happy to know that there are quite a number of people in Rosenhof who are recognizing that. Those persons who have voted in the Labour Party for many elections and are recognizing that they now have to take a very independent look of things and they're making a decision otherwise. And we appreciate and welcome that. So we welcome anybody who wishes to join us in making a contribution for the greater good of Dominica. And in respect to our candidate in Rosenhof, Ms. Ashley McDougall, it's chalk and cheese compared to the.
Somebody just sent me some pictures as it relates to the Stieber Street, just 300 yards away from the DLP candidate. A perfect example of the DLP and the candidate's total neglect of Rosenhof and Dominica by extension. And so we will certainly neglect them at the polls. The performance of the Chuck government after 26 years. Rosenhof voters welcome the attempt to belittle Danny. Although we always loved Julius Timothy, history records that when he said Danny Luge is of no consequence in this election, we the voters of Rosenhof defeated the beloved Julius Timothy and DLP by 642 votes in 2014. Take note. Again, Rosendorf voters welcome the attempt to belittle Danny. Although we always love Julius Timothy, history records that when Danny Luge is of no consequence, said Mr. Julius Timothy, we voters of Rosendorf defeated the beloved Julius Timothy and the DLP by over 642 votes then. Let's continue to take some phone calls. Are you there, caller? Yes. Yes?
Yes, man, I'm there. Good
Yeah.
morning. Good morning.
Morning to you, sir.
I am very saddened by listening to that interview with you and Thompson this morning, man. For 28 times, a man goes to court to get an issue resolved, man. You know what that says, man? The justice system is corrupt. Because he mentioned a judge who made a ruling, who refused to put his ruling on paper, man. That shows you the judge himself is being told what to do from somewhere else. The judge is not fit to be a judge, man. Because if you can corrupt a judge to do this against any other citizen, nobody has no chance of having any kind of justice in the country. So all this argument about better political party, he's on a podium, he's talking all like garbage. You need to address the people about what's taking place with the passport, because soon they can't even go to St. Martin, Guadeloupe, Martinique, Curacao, none in European countries, Dutch, French, and British territories that's left in the Caribbean. He needs to address the real issues and stop playing politics, because really what he is, a drowning man grasping for straws. And his 26 years of reign has reigned terror on the people, man. When you have George's ruling and kind of thing, it's nowhere in the world I know a man go 28 times to court to find justice and they can't find justice, man. Something is wrong in the system and people lay there and they don't understand it. They still support that garbage, man. Good morning. Thank you for the work you do, my brother.
All right, thank you very much on the telephone. Are you there, caller? Yes?
Yes, but I'm there. But today I trying, boy. I feel it. I'm just block me, you know.
I blocked you, like many other people feel I block them. I tell you again, I'll say it again. I don't see telephone calls. I see lights.
It was you, Kerry, that blocked me.
They're blocking you?
Man, Kerry.
Why is that?
Matt, anyway, I want to say something. Matt, do not vote the rat that got in the cheese. Do not vote the rat that got in the cheese. These hyenas. 10% for Dominica and 90% for them. This guy knows all about world affairs, but he doesn't know Dominica do have no garbage collection, no light, no internet. People have no employment. He don't know nothing about that, but he know all world affairs, Iran. He know how to go Dubai, but local affairs, he does nothing that. This guy is a wicked guy, and you must go. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. 449-3095, 449-3096, and 449-3097. All right, we heard this morning of a shooting incident in the Salisbury area. Some young man allegedly received a number of gunshots, but the gunman got away, and the young man is now hospitalized. So that's some concerns there of up there in Salisbury. Some shooting incident took place in the middle of the village. A masked man opened fire on another and got away, but I was told that villagers said that the police responded very swiftly and quickly. Suspect police is now in search of the shooter. If you have any information, please call the Salisbury Police Station. Or the Roseau Police Station to give more information. Of course, the other guy who was shot is in hospital at this point, from what I gather.
If you with digital, then you are plenty. 20 years ruling with digital. If you're not too fast, then hear me well. I have my TV and still have my cell. I have my internet on from digital. 20 years of real connection. So pay attention. You might benefit from all what I'm about to mention. You can be a VIP or get 6 months on your bill free. Because 2020, digitally 20, 2020, digitally 20. 2020, digitally 20. If you with digital, then you are plenty. I say with digi, you can win. Celebrate, connect and win. Prices weekly, you can win. When you with digi, that's a win. 2020, digitally 20. 2020, digitally 20. 2020, digitally 20. If you with digital, then you are plenty. 2020, digitally 20. 2020, digitally 20. 2020, digitally 20.
On the telephone, it's 10:02. Good morning.
Morning, man. How are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Okay.
Matt, it is very unfortunate what happened in Salisbury last night.
Okay.
It's very unfortunate. Matt, those things they need to stop. And fellas that have the problem with one another, they need to solve it. Because it will continue, man. And I was very traumatized last night. Because I was here when I heard all the bullets. I don't know who do it. I cannot say who do it. I know the guy that got shot because I was there when the police picked him up, put him on the police vehicle. But Matt, it traumatized all the youths in Salisbury. We need a counselor in Salisbury now to come and counsel the youths in Salisbury. But you know, as a councillor of the village council, Matt, I really think we need councillors to come and counsel the youth. Because, Matt, since I live in Salisbury, Matt, first time in my life, I hit police in the village itself. I know we have a problem by the bus stop, but first time in my life, I hit police in the village. And I just happened to be in the village. And Matt, but I run on that step and hide. I run on that step and hide. Not me alone. All our people run on that step and hide. We don't know what happened. We don't know the circumstances following it.
So the village,
but not on another matter.
Hold on, the village was traumatized last night. That's your point.
Yes, the village was traumatized last night. The village was full of people.
Okay.
After that happened, yeah, traumatized.
We
don't know what happened.
On another matter, you said another matter. You want to speak on something else?
On another note, Matt, this government of Roosevelt Skerrit, they remove a lot of Salisbury people that get in the $300 from the list. Plenty people they remove from the list. Matt, we asking them what is the reason for removing them from the list. Pensioners, they remove from the list. People that are not working, they remove them from the list. We're asking them to reinstate them. We do not want another problem in Salisbury, Matt. I'm trying to avoid the problem. We have a garbage problem in Salisbury. We're trying to avoid that. Matt, we're asking the government to immediately reinstate the people they remove from the list. And tell us why they remove them, if they remove them. Not if they remove them. Tell us why they remove the people from the list. We're asking them to immediately deal with that. We're giving them up to the end of the month to deal with it. Okay? Thank you, Matt.
Thank you. All right, Dominica, we're here. It's already 10:06 in the morning. And the last person I heard was on this case of Dr. Thompson Fontaine. I'm still trying to clarify. Was the magistrate there? I think I have Mr. Joshua Francis on the line. He might be able to clarify. Mr. Francis, how are you this morning? How are you?
Mr. Peltier, I'm doing well. Good morning to you and good morning to your listeners. Blessed morning to Dominica.
Mm-hmm. I'm unable to clarify just whose magistrate is at this time, whose magistrate is dealing with the matter before the court. Are you aware, Mr. Joshua Francis, who may be dealing with that matter?
Matt, I'm not part of Dr. Fontaine's legal team.
Mm-hmm.
The last time I took notice of the matter in question,
Okay.
a foreign magistrate presided over the matter. I'm not too sure whether there has been any change,
Mm-hmm.
but if the magistrate, that magistrate who I observed presided over the matter a few months ago, he would be the same.
Oh, he would be the same. Okay. Well, let's continue the conversation because, this morning we heard the Prime Minister of Dominica speaking of global matters. We have been affected there, and we've been told of a piece of legislation that may affect us going forward. And this piece of legislation is before the U.S. Senate as it relates to CBI, and we Dominicans being affected, or that may be affected as it relates to this piece of legislation. Have you heard about this?
Well, I did hear about it, Matt. I have not verified the source of the information, which is in the public space,
Mm-hmm.
but that would not be surprising to me, in as much as I have not verified the source of the information. But we are aware that changes are taking place on the international stage that definitely will have negative repercussions for Dominican Dominicans. And therefore, we are to be very cognizant and vigilant about the changes which are taking place, because we already have an economy saddled with a lot of stress, and some of the changes which are taking place on the international stage, in fact, will affect our revenue stream. As you know, Matt, and your listeners, we have been obtaining a lot of funding from the CBI program
Mm-hmm.
over the last 30 years, and more particularly over the last 15 years. And the US and the EU have announced changes towards our citizenship program. And that is something that every Dominican should pay attention to.
But
That
I,
is
thi- I,
very
thi- I,
significant.
I just say that, Joshua, because it appears that the leaders of the Caribbean, more particularly Antigua and Dominica, wants to stick with the CBI program, and they maybe move into the EU to sort of negotiate a deal, but not. They seem not to go away or want to go away from the CBI. Now the Europeans are saying you need to phase out or get out of CBI by 2028. But a number of politicians are saying we'll phase out, but they're saying we need you guys to get out. So if you're part of an administration that will come into the office at this time, Joshua, what would be your position?
First of all, Matt, let me place on public record
Yes.
that the governments of the Eastern Caribbean, more so the islands which are involved in the CBI program, would have gotten notice before about the EU's position on the CBI program.
Mm-hmm.
The recent publication that the EU is seeking a phase out of or phasing out of the CBI program in our jurisdictions within the Eastern Caribbean Basin is not anything new. My understanding is that from since 2022, the discussions were being held at the EU level by the Council of EU Ministers concerning our CBI program. And like the US, several concerns were raised about the security of the CBI program because those countries believe and continue to believe that the CBI program creates a security threat to their countries. There is also the issue of a financial security threat, given that the CBI program allegedly has created a situation for evasion of taxes, money laundering, to name a few. And there has also been concerns about deficiencies in our due diligence program. As you know, Matt, several international fugitives eventually became beneficiaries of our citizenship, resulting from a lack or negligent due diligence processes. So both the EU and the US have expressed concerns about the CBI program. But the EU particularly is a heavy tax-based economy as a whole. Many countries in the European Union tax their citizens heavily because of their economic policies. And they would have had and continue to have serious concerns about the CBI program, which creates a threat to their tax-based system. And those discussions have been taking place since 2022. So for these prime ministers to now come on the stage and to make it appear that it's something new, that is something shocking, we know very well that it's not anything new. If anything, the reaction of those prime ministers are too late. Matt, I do not expect that meeting at Brussels, as echoed by the prime ministers, namely our prime minister in Dominica and that of Antigua, to bear any fruits. It is too little too late. The train has left the station, and that takes me to the point about the budget. I think every Dominican should be paying attention to what kind of budget this government is going to present in Parliament on the 4th of August. Because definitely the CBI program is in its end stage, and our government particularly has depended heavily, more so than any other Eastern Caribbean island, on the CBI program to finance recurrent.
So you have confirmed, because I'm not too sure whether I heard the date. You're confirming this morning that it's on August 14th, the budget?
The 4th, August 4th.
August 4th.
My source has indicated to me that the budget presentation will be after August Monday, August holiday.
Okay.
And I am paying attention, and I think the nation needs to pay attention because most of us have expectations of a relief budget, and this is what the government has been presented for the last 26 years. A government that has focused more on seducing the electors or our citizens as opposed to stimulating an economy that could be sustainable. The indictment is real. This government has failed to grow an economy to sustain our lives at a high level. And I believe that the government is between a rock and a hard place because we're moving into an election period. And the Labour Party government, of course, would want to provide a budget with as many reliefs as possible to seduce our voters as they have done in the past, more so now than ever. But the government has to be careful because now that CBI revenue has declined and will continue to steadily decline over the next few months and couple of years, the government has to find new sources of revenue generation. And this government has lacked creativity and innovation. And I personally want to take note of what is this government going to propose to stimulate our economy. Now, I suspect that the government will make an address in regards to our tax-based system. My sources have indicated to me that the government may propose an increase in the threshold for income tax. As we speak currently, persons who earn 30,000 and less do not pay income tax. That may increase to possibly 50 based on my sources. Now, why would the government do that? Because, of course, if you increase the threshold for income tax, clearly, you are going to cause a drop in tax revenue. And the government that has already a government that is facing a serious challenge resulting from the drop in CBI revenues would not want to take any measure to cause revenues to decline. But there is a catch in this. Currently, as we speak, there are just about approximately 3,000 Dominicans paying income tax. So an increase in the threshold of income tax is going to reduce the number of income tax payers as far as individuals, both natural and artificial, are concerned. The other question is, should the government take such a measure, then what happens to that money which are going to be saved? Because, of course, if you are now earning 30,000, let's say 35,000, you're paying income tax, and then the threshold for paying income tax now increases to 50,000, it means that you will no longer be paying income tax. You may save some money. Now, that money that you're going to save, exactly how much you're going to save, and what are you going to do with that money? One of the problems that we have in this country is that our consumption is primarily imports. So even if you were to save $1, more than likely that dollar is going to be expended on imports, which is another problem that this economy has. We live in an import country. This government has failed to make us more self-reliant, has failed to create factories and job creation opportunities for our people. And therefore, Matt, I see an economy that really is in collapse, economy that has gone beyond the edge of the precipice. I think we're going down a precipice. And until and unless we have a change of government, Dominicans have to tie their waist and expect a very bleak economic future. Things are already hard.
So you don't expect anything from that budget? No?
Well, as I said, Matt, my sources have indicated to me some of the measures which this government will take. Another area that the government may tackle is custom duties. There has been quite a number of discussions about our government failing to address the rising cost of living in Dominica, in the region, as you know, internationally due to several structural changes and economic shocks. The cost of living has been on the rise. One of the things that this government promised our people is that with geothermal, our cost of living will drop with geothermal energy plant. Certainly that has not happened. And because we're a high import country, we have to pay the increase in prices for food, and custom duties contributes towards the high prices on the shelf. So I think the government may tackle custom duties where they may reduce custom duties. Again, such a measure fiscally would not be prudent for the government in terms of revenue generation, because the government is moving into a phase where its revenue stream is becoming anemic, and to take any step to cause less revenue for the government would have to be parallel with an increase in revenue somewhere else. So I'm paying attention. I am in discussions with certain persons who are intimate with the government as far as budget preparation is concerned. And I believe that we need to pay attention because the government definitely will want to create a budget to make it appear that they are providing relief for our people. But on the other hand, the government has to be very careful, because whilst it may pass an election budget, a political budget, it will put us, or it may put us at risk of suffering more. So, Matt, we are really in a difficult situation now. As I said from the onset of my contribution here this morning, I don't expect our government to get any tangible, fruitful results from any trip in Brussels. Matter of fact, that decision has already been crystallized that we have to phase out our CBI program. And really, had this government had any kind of vision, the government would not be looking to send technocrats and leaders to Brussels, because the government would have already taken preparatory steps to move from the CBI. It was always unwise and imprudent for this government to rely so heavily on CBI, because CBI is a volatile sector. Anything could cause CBI to collapse. But a real government with a vision would understand that Dominica has comparative advantages in certain areas, as far as agriculture, ecotourism. We could have gotten into an area where we could develop a financial and digital sector. The government has failed to do so.
But you did mention, because somebody's asking the question, did you say sometime earlier that about 3,000 Dominicans pay income tax? Did you
Yes,
say 3,000?
Yes. Just about, again, Matt, we live in a country where this government has failed to take data collection and data analysis very seriously. There has been a decline in our statistics division as far as publication of data, economic data. So if you go to Inland Revenue to get data, you go to Customs to get data on government receipts, you would note that there are struggles in getting proper and accurate information. But from my source, just about 3,000 Dominicans are paying income tax. I think about it, let's just say we have 60,000 people, and our tax base is financed by just about 3,000 persons. It says everything about our economy. It tells you that our economy is not only small, but our economy has serious issues, because traditionally, tax revenue is an important component in every country. Some countries more than others. So, for example, I mentioned the European Union. Those countries rely heavily on their tax-based system. In Dominica, we have relied more heavily on non-tax revenues, such as the CBI program. As you know, the Prime Minister always boasts about how we don't have to pay taxes, even for the construction of the international airport, something we also have to pay attention to. But if you notice, as far as capital projects in Dominica are concerned, again, I'm having a pre-budget presentation here. We have to pay attention with the construction of the international airport. Now, there are allegations that the revenues which are being used to construct the international airport, as you know, MNC has that contract, are not revenues which are being generated now. Those are revenues which were in storage. Those are revenues which were kept out of our parliamentary oversight and saved in foreign accounts. So even if the receipts from the CBI program has plummeted, MNCE has been able to finance the construction of the airport because it had so much out there. And that is something as Dominicans must never, never forget. How a country, a prime minister, gave one company so much power to receive so much funding from the sale of a public good, that is our passports, without parliamentary oversight, without proper accounting. To this date, we don't have proper accounting on passport receipts. All those are concerns which have been expressed by international actors as far as our CBI program is concerned. But not only that, Matt, when you look at the hotel construction, because again, the CBI revenues were used in a lot of dead-end projects. Whilst we appreciate the housing revolution as dubbed by the Dominica Labour Party government.
Somebody's asking a very important question before you go, Joshua, because it appears that with this bill before the U.S. Congress there, if this passes, it means that, there'll be a lot of repercussions. And it means that it might be a moment to drag or move, get protest action in this country, because a lot of people will be suffering. Tourism may be suffering there. You won't be able to move to the United States. People will be banned from entering the United States, if they don't have the necessary documents. Would that be a time that you on the opposition side would protest this move?
Well, Matt, as you say, if that bill were to pass, at this stage we can only speculate.
Mm-hmm.
What I can say about this whole measure is that such a measure is consistent with what is happening internationally.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing that those foreign major powers are now taking more protective measures as far as their sovereignty, their economy, and others are concerned. Those protective measures are being taken in Europe as well. Those countries are protecting themselves from what they consider to eliminate any architecture that could create a threat to their economy and their life, Of course, Matt, should a bill of that nature were to pass in the White House or in the legislative arm of the United States, there would be even further ramifications for Dominica.
A lot of pressure will be, of course, coming down on Dominica. So would you think that there should be protest action to protest to of course, make the message go straight to the scary administration and say, it's time to step down. People should protest on public. There should be public protests.
Well, but we don't have to wait to protest against the government. I think generally Dominicans are very passive and very tolerant. There should have been protest actions already for the government to step down. This is a government that has had 26 years to administer the affairs of our nation, and it has failed in many categories. The legacy of the government will be one that is remembered for more self-enrichment and winning political elections as opposed to creating an economy that is sustainable. Because what we have right now is a shell of an economy.
Yeah, we understand that, but Joshua, I mean, and Dominicans have been very, very quiet and taking and taking and taking. Well, you know, when will the pressure pipe burst? When?
Well, first of all, Matt, we have a referendum in the Rosenhof constituency. I believe it's an opportunity for Rosenhof to help Dominica to send a very strong message that we are anti-Labour government. That is why every Rosenhof constituent must ensure that he or she contributes towards a message to the Labour Party that we cannot and ought not to continue with this type of governance. This governance has all kinds of maladies. Of course, this morning I have just focused on one area of our weak economy, but there are a plethora of issues with this government. And the opportunity to protest will be at the polls first and foremost as far as the by-election is concerned, should the Prime Minister decide to just have a by-election and not a general election. And that's the first opportunity for Dominicans, particularly the Rosenhof people, to send a very strong message against the Dominica Labour Party government.
I don't know if you heard, but the Prime Minister said this morning that his candidate compared to that of the United Workers' Party is chalk and cheese. Your take?
Well, Matt, the Prime Minister has a democratic right to say what he wants within the political space once it's not defamatory or injurious to the public. And so he's doing his politics. Of course, he is trying to persuade the people of Rosenhof that his candidate is the better candidate, and that is expected. Those of us in the opposition will say that our candidate is the superior candidate. Ultimately, we have to ensure that the Dominica Labour Party gets a very nasty beating at the by-election, if it is a by-election. And I think that will augur well.
You said if, so you're not too sure whether it's just a by-election, maybe a general elections may be called?
Well, Matt, again, if you pay attention, I did listen to this gentleman, Peter Wickham, who is a pollster and very intimate with the Dominica Labour Party government. At an interview which he had with a Grenadian journalist, he said that he was in conversation with the Prime Minister of Dominica and that the Prime Minister would have preferred to call a general election had it not been a confirmation process. And then he made other statements which would suggest that the preferred decision by the Prime Minister would be a general election. Well, that I extrapolated from statements which were made by Peter Wickham, having said that he spoke with our Prime Minister about this pending by-election. And even then, even if the Prime Minister had originally decided to have a by-election, he has not given any official statement on what type of election he's going to conduct within the next few weeks. It could be a general, it could be a by. I believe that the Prime Minister generally would be fearful of having a general election, given that should he have a general election, more than likely we would revert to the existing list, that's the old voters list, and Dominicans will raise arms. So I don't think he may want to take that chance. He may want to get away from by-election, which itself is questionable as far as what voters list we should use, whether we should use the existing voters list or the new published voters list. From my understanding, the Electoral Commission has sought a legal opinion from the AG's office in respect to the interpretation of the new election laws, and that we will, well, from what I understand, the decision has been taken that during the confirmation process, any election should be subject to the use of the old list or the existing voters list and the new voters list, which I personally have a problem with. But at the end of the day, to challenge any legal matter has to go to a court of law, and at this stage, our focus should be getting most Dominicans to understand that we need to change the government, starting in Rosenhof.
Joshua Francis, again, thank you. Thank you very much. His analysis of some issues on the ground there. By-election or general elections, what do you expect from the Prime Minister? As just Joshua just indicated, based on his sources, the budget maybe somewhere around August 3rd. That's about a few weeks away. Huh? Let's find out. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes? Yes?
Yeah, good day, man.
Good day to you, sir.
Yeah, you know, one of them times you had a conversation with a guy and you're trying to undermine the leader of the opposition by telling me how the leader of the opposition trying to move away from CBI and how much people have benefited from CBI like it's a talking point.
Mm-hmm.
And I explained to him that if the man have a plan, and he said he have his 10-point plan to gradually take us out from under CBI, it's a good thing. Because if he has to take us out from CBI, that means we have to be producing and working, and that means it's employment for the people. Nothing lasts forever. And the government try using the cash, the cash cow, or how they calling it, to use the CBI and thinking the CBI living for. I try and explain that CBI is like drugs to a person. You make money, and if you just use it and you don't invest in it to create any economical sustainability,
Right.
it will not last forever. You understand? So Thompson Fountain having a plan to gradually take us out under the CBI is exactly the foresight of a government and a leader that we need in this economic challenging time. You understand? And that is the point that we need to be pushing, because the government was saying, if it's not CBI, then what? You mean to tell me all your travels, all your friends, you have no idea, you saw nothing that you could bring back to the Dominica that could sustain an economic reality that we could live by? Because I always tell people, the CBI, our economy is on a bubble. Anytime this bubble bursts, we're going to feel it. And it's just a show. You know, our economy is based on CBI, is a thing where they can control you. They can tell you what to do and what not to do. You're in their mercy. But if you take that money and invest in agriculture and industry like factories and those sorts of things, our people would be working. We would not have to rely on the CBI. The CBI would have been one arm, let us say, of our economy. But the money is not even going into the treasury. It's going into somebody's private bank account. And nobody's accountable. Nobody can say anything. And also, if something happens today or tomorrow, they are going for our money. So we need to try. People try and undermine the government many ways, and you know the government talking points and people and pundits trying to undermine everything. But the reality is hitting us in our face, because from the time Amscary came into government, we used to go Canada for free without visa, visas implemented. We used to go England without visa, visas implemented. And warning after warning after warning have been given to the government, and they take no heed. And they were trying to downplay it and trying to undermine the character of the people that were giving them those warnings. And I mean, look it in our eyes.
It's on our face. We have to face the realities. Remember the question, if not CBI, then what? $10.34.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, and all the king's horsemen and all the people could not put Humpty Dumpty together again. That's all I'll say about Humpty Dumpty.
Humpty Dumpty. And all the king's horses. Oh boy. Hello, talk to me. Are you there, caller? Yes. You want to hear it again, Humpty Dumpty?
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, and all the king's horsemen and all the people could not put Humpty Dumpty together again. That's all I'll say about Humpty Dumpty.
Tune in every morning for The Hot Seat on Q95. The latest happening events, breaking stories, and behind-the-scenes in-depth investigative reports. Stay on for more fair and balanced talk on The Hot Seat on Q95. The big station.
Let's continue this morning. The Hello Talk to Me. We have a stop coming up with our friends there from Flo Dominica. Hello Talk to Me, yes?
Yeah, Matt, quickly, I heard
Please.
Ned talking about bullets in Salisbury, and
Yes.
I'm talking about the stipend they were giving the elderly. I stepped out, and when I came in, it was a bit vague. What do you want to talk about the shooting, Matt?
Well, there was a shooting incident in Salisbury last night, where a young man received some. I don't know how many bullets, but it was a masked man who, of course, got engaged in that activity, and the young man received several bullets and was taken to the hospital. I'm not too sure what his condition at this time, but that's
Okay.
yes.
Okay, you there with me?
I'm right here.
Yeah, Matt, I coin it democratic fascistic dictatorship. If what Ned is saying, Matt, is true, pertaining to the people that are getting the little stipend based on the age of 60 or whatever they're giving them. And Salisbury, the selective and deliberate discrimination, Matt, that we are looking for what that is upon us already. So I am just saying, Matt, we had 4.5 years, Matt, of cheese. Matt, you eat plenty cheese now?
Cheese. I don't really eat cheese like that. No.
Okay, well, Matt, people eat cheese. I don't eat cheese, but during that time I was eating cheese, 4.5 years of cheese. Now with truck, with 7 years with truck, Matt. Matt, I'll write this call, don't give me no truck. So when these criminals come in with a truck, Matt, about this is truck and cheese, Matt, Dominicans are waking up and they need to get mad. Dominicans, stop getting mad with each other. Stop fighting each other. We have a common enemy. That is the Dominican Lethal Party, that twin, the Dominican Lethal Party with the PRC, the People's Republic of China, a dictatorship. All you expect for things to get better, you see the resurrected matters against Thompson and everybody. Now you're hearing about people are getting the little stipend, they're taking it back, and it's war they're ready for. All you things carry joking, continue to divide among all yourselves and fight, and not realizing there's a common enemy that are looking to devour us all. Thank you. Bless.
Well, when we come back, our friends from Flo Dominica. Stick around until 11 o'clock.
This is our 20th Global V&Q show for 2026, and we continue to engage with our local, regional, and global Q family listeners and friends of Dominica. I'm Sheridan Gregoire, Mr. G. With me is my co-host, Justice Dr. Irving Andre, Attorney Mark Douglas, and former Dominica UN Ambassador Crispin Gregoire. We will discuss the topic, what does reparations mean for Dominica? Here are some talking points or questions, if you like. What is the case for reparations for Dominica? Would we be compensated by the US and the EU for a corrupt CBI program, as OECS head suggested at the recent meeting in Dominica, especially in light of US Representative Nancy Mace's bill placed before the US Congress, which is slamming the door on countries like Dominica, which she claims are endangering American communities? What does this all mean? Are we owed reparations? Who owes us, and how should this be measured? Who is to pay? Who should receive that payment? What should be done with it? And our current leaders be trusted with that money, considering how they treat our elderly or students in need, and how our government uses donated assistance for Dominicans who are in need? Will it be used for the benefit of those who need it most? How should reparations be administered if we receive it? Should we be paying Britain for its colonization, as British parliamentarian Suella Braverman recently suggested? Should the the descendants of slaves receive compensation from those who enslaved their ancestors? Why should they receive payment for those wrongs? Are there any precedents for such payments? And does intergenerational trauma and economic legacies of slavery justify reparations? We look forward to the contributions of Justice Dr. Irving Andre, Attorney Mark Douglas, and former Dominica UN Ambassador Christine Gregoire on this topic. What does reparations mean for Dominica? So tune in Tuesday night for more on the Global View on Q, only on Q95, the big station, because you know it's true if you hear it on Q.
Oh, yeah.
Bundle and watch $98 flow back into your pocket. It's simple. Just add mobile to broadband and save big with Flow. Get fiber fast Wi-Fi at home and all the data you need on the go. We've got you covered everywhere. So what are you waiting for? It's connection times 2 and up to $98 in savings for you. Add mobile to broadband today and take your connection to the next level. Visit in-store or online at discoverflow.co for more details.
Turn up the vibes, we flow, we flow. Turn up the vibes, we flow, we flow. Turn up the vibes, 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 we flow, we flow, we flow. Hey yo, this is Estebantan, and this summer we're turning up the vibes with Flow. Sign up for a mobile plus internet bundle and choose your reward: a 22-inch TV, a smartphone at $200, or a free Fire Express deal. Need internet? Switch to Flow and enjoy a free appliance. Switch to Flow Purchase and unlock exclusive rewards, including tickets to your favorite events. And that's not all. You could also win one of 4 grand prizes, including a brand new Samsung S26 or a VIP trip to Barbados for soccer on the hill. The rewards are turn up, the prices are turn up, and Flow is ready to give you a summer experience like never before. So sign up, switch up, bundle up, or simply pay a bill in full. One campaign, 3 seasons, endless rewards. Live more, enjoy more, and turn up the vibes with Flow. About time you pull your boss. And I endorse this message. Visit the Flow store today. Terms and conditions apply. Turn up the vibes with Flow.
Turn up the vibes with Flow.
Yes, we are. We are. Saying good morning, Dominica. Good morning to the listeners of Q95 Radio. To everyone part of the Flow family, good morning to you and thank you for choosing Flow. We have just a few minutes and a lot to share. So many exciting things happening. But you heard about our campaign right there from the Booyah Boss himself. Esteban Tan. We're turning up the vibes this summer. We've been turning up the vibes since May 15th when we launched our summer campaign. Exciting campaign, exciting rewards for our customers. Our customers bundling, they still get the opportunity to win or get a direct ticket via Express de Zille. And of course, that takes you to Guadeloupe, Martinique, or St. Lucia. And it's not a chance to win. So every single customer who adds mobile to their internet service or adds internet to their mobile service can enjoy that reward. And the choice is yours. So if you don't want to get the ticket via Express de Zille to travel, you can also choose a device. You can choose between a 32-inch TV or a smartphone at $200. And those of you who've been following our page, I mean, you can definitely see all the customers that are walking away with their TVs. I'm not sure what happened last week, but last week it was TV galore. Every single day I went into the store, I could see a customer walking out with a TV in their hand, on their shoulders. One lady had hers on her head. So ensure that you get, of course, rewarding with Flow today. The best rewards. We've been, of course, turning up the vibes from May 15th. We're getting to the end of summer 2026 and the rewards still continue. So ensure that you sign up with Flow today. Whatever you do, there's something in it for you. Our customers signing up for broadband and postpaid, you still get the opportunity to walk away with an appliance or a ticket to your favorite events. Right now, it's all about Breakfast Fest. So you can get your tickets to Breakfast Fest. If you're looking to buy a ticket, you can purchase at our Retail Experience Center. And that's the only location that you can get a ticket, a VIP ticket to the 10th annual Daybreak Breakfast Fest. If you sign up for broadband, you get a Breakfast Fest VIP ticket at only $150. That is until stocks last. So do not wait until the end of that and let me know, Francine, I didn't get my ticket. I'm telling you today, make your way down to Flow office and ensure that you sign up for broadband and walk away with your Breakfast Fest ticket for only $150. And even our prepaid customers, we want to remind you that there's still a lot in store for you. When you, of course, activate a 7-day combo plan, you walk away with 35 gigs of bonus data that takes you to 47 gigs of data at only $30. We're committed here at Flow to give you the best value at the best prices, and we're doing that in our actions. We're doing that in the amazing promotions that we continue to bring to you. So again, summer 2026 is on. Today is already the 21st of July. I'm not sure where the time is running, but we're here with you and we're here rewarding you and allowing you to turn up the vibes this summer. Of course, last week, Matt, was very exciting for us at Flow. We gave away our first grand prize. There are still 3 other prizes left. So one lucky customer won that trip to Soca on the Hill in Barbados. And of course, we want to big up our customers one time. Miss KB, of course, was the winner of that trip. Tamika, congratulations to you. And we look forward to hearing about your experience at Soca on the Hill in Barbados. Everything is going to be taken care of course, to and from the airport to her hotel, to Soca on the Hill, where she can enjoy a VIP cabana. And the funny
She doesn't
thing,
want anybody to carry her bag.
well, I asked her, I was willing to offer my services, and Matt is offering his services as well. So Tamika, if you need some extra support, we've got you. But of course, we're really happy for her and the other customers as well who won last week, Friday. But Tamika, she was quite excited when we called her and mentioned that she was one of the lucky customers getting a chance. She told us that her suitcase was already packed. She's ready.
Oh, so she's ready.
She's ready.
Like Freddie.
And lo and behold, she won that prize. We also have 2 other customers who benefited as well. We want to big up Warren Sandy. He won a 3-piece appliance set, and that had, of course, a toaster oven, a coffee maker, and a blender, and it came in very handy. I love when our rewards benefit our customers in an extra special way, because he just moved to his new apartment and he mentioned that these are some of the things he needed to get. And there you have it. He came to Flow on last week Friday, and he walked away with that appliance set. And we also have Moses Lander, a customer who switched to Flow just recently, and of course he walked away with a $500 shopping spree. So quite a number of exciting things happening at Flow. Of course, we're also up and about in your communities, and those of you who are used to hearing the voice, I know you recognize that the voice is a little hoarse today because a lot has been happening. This weekend was really exciting, Matt, with World Cup action. We also had Gute Dominique Gute Dominique was amazing. That happened on Sunday at Layu. And we had a number of businesses who came out and they took part in a one pot challenge. And big up to Starlines Restaurant. That's an ITIL restaurant on River Street. They emerged the winners. I actually have to make my stop this week to ensure that I get some of my ITIL,
What you
cuisine.
said the restaurant was?
It's on River Street.
Oh, yes. I know that.
Located right.
I know that.
Really good stuff. They won the competition. No meat at all, just veggies. And they won.
I've been there.
Yeah, they
Yes.
won. It's really good, right, Matt?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's really good. So check them out. But Gute Dominique continues, Matt, throughout the week. So there are quite a number of restaurants that are taking part in this, and there are specials, special meals that's being created. It gives you a taste of Dominica, especially if you're a visitor. So if you're a visitor and you're here and you're hearing my voice, you need to go on to Discover Dominica Festivals page, and you can look at the restaurants that are participating in Gute Dominique. But we started off with a bang. On Sunday, we had so many businesses. I saw Domlek in the house. I saw Republic Bank. So many businesses had their teams and they made their one pot. It was really, really, really exciting. I saw a Sang Coach. There was a Codfish Pilau. There was a Kalalu. It was a really good event. So big up Dominica Festivals, first of all, for this event. Flo was really happy. I think next year the Flo team will be cooking. But this year we supported with connectivity.
You will be the chef?
You never know. I can do a little something on the side, Matt.
I just asked.
So look out for me next year, and the team will be cooking up a storm. But of course, we were really happy to support with being able to broadcast the World Cup on the big screen right there at Gute Dominique. Of course, always supported compliments Flo. So we're really happy about that because the chefs got to enjoy the World Cup after cooking up a storm.
Well, let's take a break. We'll come right back.
Yes.
We'll come right back.
Bundle and watch $98 flow back into your pocket. It's simple. Just add mobile to broadband and save big with Flow. Get fiber fast Wi-Fi at home and all the data you need on the go. We've got you covered everywhere. So what are you waiting for? It's connection times 2 and up to $98 in savings for you. Add mobile to broadband today and take your connection to the next level. Visit in-store or online at discoverflow.co for more details.
Back to you, Francine.
Yes, Matt. So we're back. So many exciting things to share. I can hear the phones ringing as well, but we really want to ensure that we keep you up to date on everything that is happening flow-wise. So, of course, we spoke about Gute Dominique. We closed there, but we still have quite a number of exciting events that are coming up from the 31st. We're really happy to support the Bike Festival, and we have a special just for the bikers that are coming in. So if you're listening and you'll be traveling to Dominica for the Bike Festival, we have an exciting offer for you. All SIM cards are free for the bikers to ensure that they're connected when they get here on island and more. So stay tuned, of course, to all of that. This Friday as well, the bikers are going to be at the Flow Experience Center at our storefront. And we're collaborating with Carib, and HHV Wichich on this exciting promotion. So this Friday from 1 p.m., you need to ensure that you start making your way over to Flow. The bikers are going to be there. So if you want to meet and greet some of your favorite bikers, then you can definitely ensure that you're there. We have some exciting entertainment as well happening right there at the Flow Experience Center. We also have Heritage Relay that is coming up on the 1st, and that's in Dailies. So you can't miss out on that. Of course, it's quite exciting and it allows you to connect, with culture and the communities. So you can't miss out, grab the family, pack up the vehicle, and make your way down to Dailies for the Heritage Relay. And of course, Breakfast Fest is on, powered by Flow, supported by Flow for 10 years, Matt. 10 years we've been supporting the Booyah boss himself, Asa Banton, and the Daybreak Breakfast Fest. So that will be on, powered by Flow again. And Matt, I just want to say that, here at Flow, and even, personally sitting in this role, we are very interested in supporting our communities. And I think this is important. And I do want to call all the other corporate partners as well to come on board. It's not just about the sale, it's not just about the numbers and the revenue, but you have to make an impact in Dominica. You have to support the culture, you have to support our people, and I really want to see more corporate entities getting involved in what's happening in the communities, getting involved in the events and supporting the organizers, the different groups and charitable organizations on island as well. I really want to see more of that. Flow Dominica, we pride ourselves for sticking very close to our communities and ensuring that we support our people. We have so many exciting announcements coming up soon. We have our usual collaboration with the Kalinago Child Support Foundation, JCI, and Flow. We're also cooking up something big. So many exciting things. Matt, I know that the time is running out. Before we leave, I do want to congratulate our students. Firstly, all the students who graduated, regardless of the institution, be it primary school, secondary, even the college, we want to say congratulations to you. They're now moving into the working world, and some of them pursuing further education. But nonetheless, we want to remind our students on the importance of remaining focused, and not taking for granted the role that they play in shaping the future of Dominica. We also want to congratulate, of course, Jeff Augustus, our adopted school, the Rosa Primary School. He was, of course, the valedictorian. We were really happy to provide him with an amazing award from our country manager. So Jeff, big up yourself and all the best as you move on to high school. We also want to congratulate the valedictorian of the Dominica State College. And of course, that we were happy to present that award to Aisha Charles, for her outstanding achievement, ending with a GPA of 3.95. We have to celebrate our students. I mean, that's great work. So kudos to her. We also awarded Matt our Fedina Frampton Award, inaugural award. This year was the first year. I'm quite passionate about this one. And it provides an award as well as a paid internship to a student who's pursuing studies in marketing or communications. And the recipient of that award was Alejandra Garcia. She emerged the head of the marketing team, the marketing course, at the Dominica State College. And she will be joining us for her internship very soon. So Matt, when I come here, especially on the days when the voice is not doing its thing, I'll have some company because she's definitely, you're going to see more of her. And throughout this experience, she'll be leaving with a certified reference letter. Of course, it's a paid internship. She'll be working hand to hand with me. So I get to, also pass on some of the skills to her and just expose her in a very meaningful way to the career of marketing and even communications. So really, really excited for her. Matt, the family is also growing. In closing, I want to big up our brand new ambassadors. Big up Jody Dublin Dangleben and Shy Guy, of course, joining the Flow family last week, Friday. So, Matt, you're going to hear new voices, and I'm so happy about that because it's really been me for a little while, right?
I need a little break, yes.
Yes. So you're getting new voices, you're getting new persons to tell you the Flow story. And it's an opportune moment because Dominica, when I say that we have big things in store for you, I mean it. We're really keeping our ears close to the ground. We're looking at the things our customers are asking for and saying that they want from their telecoms provider of choice. And we are here to provide that. So stay tuned, continue to support Flow because the support to Flow is a support to the communities and a support to Dominica. So Matt, thank you so much. And kudos again to all our students who graduated, all our customers who continue to be rewarded from Flow. Big up yourself. And to everyone else, if you're hearing this voice and you're not on the Flow Network, that's your sign to switch today. So visit us, ensure that you're on board. Thank you so much to the listeners. I know the phones were going off. Thank you for the love. This is Francine signing out.
All right. See you again next week, same time. Thank you. Thank you.
Turn up the vibes, we flow, we flow. Turn up the vibes, we flow, we flow. Turn up the vibes, 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 we flow. We flow. Hey yo, this is Esther Bantam, and this summer we're turning up the vibes with flow. Sign up for a mobile plus internet bundle and choose your reward. A 32-inch TV, a smartphone at $200, or a free trip via Express Field. Need internet? Switch to Flow and enjoy a free appliance. Switch to Flow Postpaid